the Skellige deck.
Work doth one ennoble, sloth doth one go.
Eat, drink, and be merry. Thus spake the prophet Lebioda.
인근인데? 이쪽이 아니라 밖에 있는 거였어. 모니에르 백장너니?
I assure you, Skellige is just as strong as the other factions.
오,
It shall soon be considered
원래
canon.
정식
Of this I'm
진영이
certain.
아니었어?
I don't know. Always been a Nilfgaard man myself. I must give it some more thought.
그러면 확장팩에서
Geralt of Rivia.
이 덱도
Saw a
늘려준
notice
거야?
about a Gwent
대단하다.
tournament.
By all means, you've come to the right place. I am Count Martin Monnier, organizer-in-chief. Our tourney's more than mere diversion. We've a mission, see? To spread word of my brother's brainchild, Skellige, a new Gwent faction.
새로운 덱이라.
New deck? Where'd you get the idea? I mean, why bother?
All Beauclair knows me as a great lover and promoter of Gwent. My brother, dead for some time now, was known to be the same. We shared another great passion, travel. Spent a great many years at sea in our youth, marking out our territory in multiple corners of the world. Yet the one that truly grabbed us by the stones were the Skellige Isles. The stormy sea, consumed by a fever, a suicidal awe, dashing itself against somber cliffs. That is the image I retain. It, and others like it, inspired my brother to devise the new faction.
말해줘.
These new cards. Tell me something about them.
Their design embodies the Isle's spirit, the rage-filled potency, the rough, brutal beauty. Famed Skelligers, heroes of lore, berserkers and beasts, ogle us from the cards. Ran Tuirsek is the faction's leader, of course.
And the other famous Skelligers?
Hjalmar and Serisam Kreite, naturally, though not conjoined. Also Hemdal the hero, the venerable druid Ermion, the list goes on.
페리스가 저기 가는구나. 참가 신청.
The tournament. Where do I sign up to play?
Right
그런 것
here with me.
같아요. 대단해
I've one
진짜.
slot open, but there's a condition. You must use cards of the Skellige faction.
이 카드만 사용해야 돼.
You see, I've already asked a great many seasoned players to do the same.
나도 부포가
Alas,
너무
all fear
익숙해서.
novelties, disdain process, care too much for the climax, for winning. So they insist on playing with their tried and true decks.
Long story short, you need a sucker who'll risk it. Take a stab
그거
at proving
왔는가.
Skelligers no worse than the established decks. Best way to do that'd be to win this tournament using your brother's cards.
We understand one another perfectly, I see. Behold this trophy, standing stiff
호구라니.
and strong. It could be yours if you win.
Not bad. Could look great in my house. On the sideboard, maybe.
좋아.
All right, I'll give it a shot. Play using the new faction.
오늘
That
집까지도
is an
가볼게요.
exceedingly good rub to my loins. Just one small adjoinder. I can only provide you a basic Skellige deck. My brother, alas, gave away or lost many key cards.
결국은 처음부터
No
모으는
chance I
재미를
can win the
다시
tournament with
느껴보라는
these
거네.
cards.
An issue easily
진짜
resolved. You must simply
진짜
face
잘
local
만들었어.
Gwent competitors. Win the missing cards from them. Besides, it will be very good practice for the tournament itself. Here, the
Pringles?
cards I can spare. Take them, please. The rest I keep for myself.
스켈리게 덱을
I too
얻었습니다.
intend to play as Skellige.
Ointments could help.
현재 덱 공격력 0. 이렇게 됐고 24개가 다 표시되는 거야 지금. 그리고 우리 집까지 가볼까요? 집이 최고. 코르브 비앙코로 가자. 여기까지 하고 방종합시다.
Never you worry.
그러면 일로 가서 여기로. 덱 파워 약해졌다 이제. 그래도 대신에 방송으로 할 때의 재미는 더 있지 않을까? 지금까지 너무 쉽게 이겼으니까 제가 또 워낙 괜트를 잘하다 보니까 조금만 갖춰지면 질 수가 없거든요,
I
이거.
think of those days of their fate and best cure for the beast.
아, 집이 최고였구나. 나 뭔가 했어, 저게.
I won't go. I simply won't.
이렇게 갈 수 있는
Eat,
거였지?
drink, and loosen your belts.
Sir
For you
Geralt of
are
Rivia.
여기 있어. 확장 같은 거 있었으면 개쩔었을 텐데. 그런 건 없겠지, 설마? 코르보 비앙코로 가자. 왔어. 아직 덜 왔어.
I work from dawn to dusk.
대박, 대박. 집
Welcome
관리인
home, sir.
있어.
I am Barnabas Basilfauti. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as
벌써
you are
월급
certain
달라고?
to know, is
후불입니다.
an extraordinary
한 달 후에
demanding
오세요.
gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case,
머리
you
낯설다.
must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into
난
order.
시체부터 다
I dare say this
치워주실래요?
place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands.
이곳에 대해 더 말해줘.
Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman,
도박꾼 전에는
a
사용
truly
집행인.
colourful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him,
아,
but his
실제로는 아니고.
great-grandfather. Indeed.
가문이.
Apparently, he was a common cutpurse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal
안
headsman
좋다고요?
in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off
마지막
more
주인은
heads
위쳐라니.
than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his
근데
exemplary
이 사용 집행할
service,
때는
the Duke granted him the
일부러
title and
그
this
사람
estate.
괴로우라고 깔끔하지
Monsieur
않게
Bolius, on the other
자른다는
hand,
얘기도 있던데.
was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune
아,
struck and he
꾸미면
lost his
불만해서요.
sense
꾸밀
first
수
of smell,
있구나.
then of taste.
진짜 갓김이야.
Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide
잔인해.
in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
구경시켜주겠어?
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me,
같이
please.
구경합시다.
I think it would be practical to begin on the hill.
나 계속 이 옷
Behold,
입고
sir, your
있네.
estate in all
빨리
its splendor.
갈아입어야겠다. 안 이뻐.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of majordomos. My father was a majordomo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman.
아, 또 돈이 많이
It is said
들어요.
that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to majordomo.
좀 많이
She
낡긴 했다,
dragged the
집이.
rest of the family up the same path.
I liked you from the start. Every Witcher I know has been a
The servants' quarters. I occupy the
하인도
green
있어
home.
벌써.
With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full
금고요?
staff.
저 돈
Their
별로
salaries to
없는데요.
be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
아, 공작이죠요? 아, 다행이다, 다행이다. 후,
Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place.
포도
They look
농원인데?
beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Every day the same wine and more crack smuggling wine. It's enough to
Down
drive
below
you batty.
lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's
It's enough to
oldest,
drive you batty.
aged in oak barrels. It provides for an
맛있겠다.
exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes.
My back aches, something horrid.
Have to try it one of these days.
Such a racket in the cemetery at night that no one gets a wink of sleep, nor do they know what's making all the noise. Oh,
Nice well. Picturesque.
I don't
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order
개쩐다.
it filled with
포도주로
wine.
우물을 채워.
There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak
아니,
and had
진짜
decided
터가 안
to end his
좋은데요?
life by jumping
왜
into the
연애에
well.
초대돼서
The
그런
festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had
아니
been
이런
changed into
결말이
and he had survived. He retired to a
웃기네요.
monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
A bushel of grapes is more a burden than that steel of yours.
Monsieur Bolius' wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely
지금은 정원이
lovely
남아있지
place it
않네요.
was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to
약초도
its
심을 수
former glory,
있구나.
and once again
좋아.
planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted
농장 게임으로 변경.
diminutive, delicate flowers
개쩔어요,
and
진짜.
herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs.
여기도 이쁘다.
You're quite the
대박이다.
romantic, Barnabas Basil.
이름이 바질이셔? 내일 바질 파스타 해 먹어야지. 맛있겠죠?
all those wenches at Coronata birth their babes the bum way.
저 건물은 뭐야? 개 넓어 진짜 집. 아 부럽다.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
우리 로치도 집 생겼어요.
Here, kitty, kitty. Wow.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here,
그리고
but Baron
최근에는
Rossel used it to store
시체
olive oil as
보관소가
well.
되었죠.
I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess.
잘하셨어요.
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
What's to sign your catnip? Let his line!
As you
개부럽다.
can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly
Facade?
stained. But one cannot deny it. A certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of
나무벽이었어?
subtle paint.
안도 안내해주나요?
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, we shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will together devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately.
수도권이냐고요?
That, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfobianco is a
멀진
beautiful
않은 것
estate.
같아요.
One must admit, time has taken its toll. If, forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any
갑자기 막
remodeling.
에디트하고 싶어졌어. 수리를 할 수 있을 것 같나?
Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Almost
봅시다.
decidedly, sir.
어떤 항목이 있는지
Question
볼게요.
is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
역세권이라고요? 근처 이마트 있냐고요? 집을 좀 봐야겠어.
Been thinking about the
겉모습이
outer
너무
walls. Maybe a fresh coat of
페인트 칠해야
paint or some
되겠어.
patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I
집
once
안도
oversaw
봐봐, 너무
such work
낡았어,
at
지금.
Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking.
근데
Not
얼마나
only
들까?
did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons.
맞아,
of which
표지판이
he was a
있으면
passionate collector.
거의 뭐 버스 정류장 이 앞에 생긴 거 아니야? 5,000원? 제 지금 전 재산이 11,000원인가 그렇거든요. 일단 신경 쓰지 마.
Need to think it over some.
I
생각해볼게.
understand, of course. As the venerable Lady Eve Knibley would so quaintly put it, the rash oft contract rashes.
좀 돌아보고 올게요.
That's all for now, BB. Thanks.
있습니다. 아니 이게 끝이 아니었어 퀘스트가? 전성기와 같이 복구시키려면 얼마나 돈이 드는 거야? 이거는 찬찬히 하고 일단 여기까지 하겠습니다.